Hello and welcome, caring Cancerians. How are you all today? Thanks for joining me. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I'm doing your November horoscope. Well, the big news is this month that Mercury is turning retrograde once again. So the dates are actually the 1st of the month until the 21st of the month. But there is a shadow period, and there is some conjecture over how long this shadow period is. Some people think it's days, and other people think it's up to 2 weeks. In my personal experience, it can be up to 2 weeks. And this means that while Mercury is coming on or going off, so i.e. before the 1st of the month or after the 21st of the month, there are still some effects. So if you have anything really super important to do, try and put it off if you can, particularly as Mercury is retrograde in your 5th house. And so this is all about the areas of fun, entertainment, your creativity, and what I call young love. And that's the stage of love when you just meet somebody and you're kind of trying to find out more about them because you don't know them very well. And so what you can find is when Mercury is retrograde, it takes you back to sort of like a previous cycle in your development. So an ex could come back, for example, and then you have to ask yourself, if they are an ex, why are they an ex? Because the same dynamics might still be present. You might have done a ton of work on yourself and you're good, and you feel fine, and there's just this little seed or this little kernel deep down in your subconscious, and when Mercury goes retrograde, it can kind of into life and you're back in a similar pattern to what happened decades before, perhaps. So it's all up to you. Maybe you can, get involved with that person if you choose to see, as, like a little test, have those dynamics changed or not. That's a matter for you. Once bitten, twice shy, I think myself personally, but everybody needs to run their own lives. So you may find yourself with Mercury retrograde revisiting the past. If it's not, an ex that comes back, it could be maybe an old school friend. You might have a school reunion. You might hear news about exes or about past friends or people that have gone out of your life. And it could even be an old job that could come back to you in some way. You might have moved on and then somebody contacts you and they want you to come back. These are all sorts of possibilities that could happen. The other thing with Mercury retrograde is it's often a time for miscommunications. Technology can go, tatas. It doesn't want to play anymore. Your devices might start acting up. If you have important projects that involve technology, it would be good to put them off rather than just starting them under Mercury retrograde. Of course, if you've been already working on them for some time, like before Mercury goes retrograde, well, then they can come to fruition and they can actually turn out very well. So it's not all, doom and gloom. And it's often not the end of the world type of the scenario. Often there's another way that's shown to you, how you can do something in a better way or another way. So don't fret about it, but do be aware, and especially with Mercury in your 5th house of creativity, and that sort of gives you like a childlike type of feeling of wanting to have fun, connecting with your inner child. Or you may have more connection with actual children in the physical world as well. You might have relatives coming over bringing children, or the world of the child comes closer to you. So you might be involved with their school more, or the tuck shop, or those sorts of things. Alrighty, on the 2nd, Venus joins Jupiter in your 6th house. Venus and Jupiter together are just lovely. Jupiter loves to increase everything. It likes to make things bigger. And Venus has this appreciation of art and beauty and love. Venus loves to be in love with love. So you put them together in your sixth house of everyday routine, and then all of a sudden your everyday life can become beautiful and increase, and the world's a much bigger and happier place. So it's a really, really lovely energy. Also, your health and well-being could be affected positively. So you're feeling more healthy, you're feeling the life force, you're feeling vital, you want to go out and do things, you feel excited, motivated to do things. It's like, let's get off the couch and go and do something. You might start walking your dog again, or things like that. Yeah, so really lovely energy from the second. On the 12th, the full moon joins Uranus in your 11th house of groups, networks, friends and associations, and also hopes and dreams. Okay, so Uranus loves to shake things up. Uranus is definitely not boring. It is turbulent, volatile, erratic, unexpected, rebellious. These are the sorts of words that go with Uranus. So in your 11th house, you might find some, I want to say, something shocking comes out about a friend or an associate that you're like, yeah. And with Mercury retrograde, it could be you hear something from gossip, because it's like Mercury sort of goes backwards and sort of digs up all the kind of, crappy things, So you could hear something about somebody that's shocking. And you'll say, I never knew that person was like that. So whatever, your friends, associates and networks and your hopes and dreams get a shake up. And so with that, you have to turf out some ideas, or turf out some friends even, or people so that you can make space for new people and people more in alignment with your belief system. You can make space for them to come into your life. So it doesn't have to necessarily be, full of drama or trauma. It doesn't have to be traumatic. You might just decide, look, I don't think I'll go to that group anymore. I'm not really getting anything out of it. And just sort of looking for a higher quality interaction with people, a higher quality connection with people that, more on the same page as what you are. So it's very beneficial, in fact. Okay, so that's the full moon. The full moon is always about transformation and change, and if it's not in a sort of calm, peaceful way, it will be in a dramatic way, but doesn't have to be. Alrighty, the 12th sees Mars joining Mercury and the Sun in your 5th house. You could be feeling very motivated about your creativity and your self-expression. It's also childlike fun, the world of the child, young love. You meet somebody and you feel like you really want to get to know them, and things just sort of progress naturally from there. So motivation, action, taking action steps, feeling the energy of Mars. Mars gives you that energy, that get up and go, to get up and go. The 23rd sees the Sun. The 26th sees the new moon go into your 6th house. Okay, so new starts, new beginnings around your health, your well-being, around your everyday routine. So not the great big huge concepts in life, but the normal everyday things that you do. Whether this be paid work or even volunteer work, it's good, just to go out and help a community group sometimes in whatever way you can. It might just be, they have a barbecue and you throw a few sausages on the barbie or something like that. So whether that be your time, your money, your energy, however you do it. But with those new starts and the Sun there, you're going to find it insightful, and it's going to give you more awareness. It's worth doing from a spiritual point of view. Okay, so before we go on to the tarot part of today's video, I'll just do a quick psychic interpretation of the energy for you, caring Cancers, for November 2019. I've got a fist. and it's about stating your point of view. Now, normally, you can be very passionate when you're expressing yourself. Make sure that, of course, that you don't ride over the top of somebody, because I've got the fist doing this, and it's not far from doing this, like stating your point, and being emphatic about your point, to going like that and hitting the person. So, of course, I never suggest violence, but you might feel angry about some issues because some people today, like, I don't even understand what planet they're on, and some things are so terribly unfair, and there is a lot of darkness around at the moment in the world, and you might really, be very emotional about all of the awful things that happen. So I get you emphatically stating your point. Okay, in November. Yeah, they're saying to me, hit the nail on the head. I can see the nails and I can see them being hit with a hammer. So hit the nail on the head, and that's like saying, yes, that's correct. So do try and be balanced with your opinions and with your emotions during November. Emotions could run very high on some topics. They're also showing me a shovel, like digging a hole. Something's dead. But it's not buried, and finally you're burying something from the past that's been long gone. So you go through this period of re-examining, reassessing things that happened in the past, and then you finally put them away. They might have, you might have, for example, there might have been a relationship, it ended, and you've been going over and over and over it in your mind. Finally you will put it to bed for good, and you won't have to think about it anymore. They're showing me, I don't know what this is called. It's like a white rainbow. I'm sure there is such a phenomenon that happens in the Arctic or someplace. And I can just see this white rainbow. It's like spirit shining through after the grief or after the end of something, so you start afresh, you start a new chapter in your life. Please don't be afraid, because I can see a shark here coming up from the deep, and something might have been buried for a very long period of time, and now there's sort of fear about it, about letting it come up, but it is coming up. So just let it come up, and then say goodbye to it, be done with it, feel the feelings and let it go, and then forgive yourself. Nobody's perfect. Okay, alrighty, so let's have a look now at the board and at the tarot. And there we go. All right, and now I've already pre-shuffled these cards, caring Cancerians, but I like them fresh, so I'll just give them another quick shuffle up. And that one is speaking to me, and it is the Ace of Cups. This is a new beginning in your emotional life. It's a beautiful energy. It's life affirming. See these living waters coming out of the cup, okay, down into your subconscious. So you could be feeling more vital, more healthy, more motivated. It's great for new starts of all kinds, whether that be physical, in your work, or to do with relationships and meeting somebody. Okay, if you meet somebody when Mercury is retrograde, it's best not to rush, because you may not have all of the information straight away, and so it's good to start like a friendship, but if you really like them and you want to have an ongoing relationship, don't rush about it. This is giving you a good solid foundation, like on an emotional level, but there's more than that in having a relationship. Okay, there's spiritual consequences and realities, and there's also physical consequences and realities, and emotions by themselves, is not enough really. Okay, so just don't rush into things, but this is a beautiful card for all sorts of starts in the first week of October. Okay, so card number 1 for the first week of October. November. I'm doing it in October, but it's actually for November. All right, second week in November for caring Cancerians. And we're going with this card, which is another new start, the Ace of Swords. This is perfect to go with that card because this is about thinking. This is about cutting, dissecting and analysing and working out, making decisions about what you want. It can be any area of your life, but this card indicates there's a lot of thinking going on. There's a lot of new beginnings. See all these new butterflies flying around and the crown at the top, to be king or queen in a situation so that you reign over yourself supremely and you make the decisions. Okay, don't allow other people to make decisions for you. You make the decisions by weighing everything up properly in the second week. So they go good together because in some ways they're opposites. We've got emotions and thinking, but both are necessary, of course. All right, third week of November, and we come out with the Three of Swords. This can be in, again, another thinking card. This can be in relation to relationships. See, she's got the red heart on her cheek there, but it's a lot of thinking about it, and it's like perhaps you've met somebody and something started, but it's still up in the air. Okay, swords, the element that goes with that is air, and so you still don't have all of the information that you need in the third week of November. So like I said right back at the start, go slow when Mercury is retrograde. Okay, if you've just met somebody, because you don't have all the information. There's something else here. I'm just going to close my eyes about it. Okay, they're saying it's like passing from one situation to another. I see somebody passing something on to somebody else. So you could be in receipt of information or even physical gifts. You could get gifts. There's something coming to you. Do be careful. It's not passing the buck though, however. You know that saying, passing the buck? And that's like blaming someone else. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is a bad thing, but that is one possible interpretation. Okay, and looking at the fourth week of November for caring Cancerians, the fourth week of November, and I'm going to go with that one there. Oh dear, the Devil card. Now some people will freak out about this. I don't want you to freak out. This is about hidden things in your subconscious coming up that have kept you in chains. Through this situation across November, you could find that there's parts of you that have been trapped. Okay, something's been trapping you, and see that's evidenced here by the chains on the wrists, and it's coming up for healing and eventual release. Okay, so I'm just going to put my glasses on. See here in the Devil's hand, there's a something, and it's a flame. It's firing, you know, very fiery. So it's like, just be careful again with your emotions, that you're not impulsive, and you know your fiery energy is not coming out all over the show so that you can't control it. Okay, because this flame's here. Flames are often about purification and detox. Okay, something's coming up to be released so that you can be healed. So it's actually good in the long term. You may not necessarily enjoy it in the short term. Also be careful with addictive type habits or things that you know that take control of you. Anything that takes control of you. Just be aware. Anybody who's trying to manipulate you, control you, dominate you, they're all red flags. Most likely it's you doing it to yourself though. Okay, now I'm going to look at the theme of at the beginning of the month. The theme at the beginning of the month for caring Cancerians is the Six of Cups. This is all about This is all about abundance, success, and vitality. Got this. If you sustain that as a long-term thing, we have to go through various processes to get to that. All right, so, and at the end of the month, the theme is, okay, it's the Four of Pentacles. This is great. This is an improvement in your physical life, okay? An improvement in your finances through the actions that you take yourself, okay? This is not about relying on other people. This is what you do to maintain your health, maintain your, your finances. This is all about being very responsible and taking full responsibility for yourself. It's a big job to do that. It's not easy, Sometimes we look to other people for support, which is fine to do that sometimes, but bottom line is you must rely on yourself. So you're going to go through this process where you learn to rely on yourself, okay? Trust yourself. You can do it. It's a wonderful thing. Alrighty, so now the next thing we're going to do is a psychic summary for you. Okay, so caring Cancerians for the month of November 2019. Okay, there's a change of direction. I'm looking at a crane, and the jib, which is that bit that comes down with the hook, that's what I'm looking at, and the crane is turning around and the jib is sort of swinging, and it's like you're doing the heavy lifting. That's what cranes do. They lift up heavy things. You're building a new life. There's a big huge building behind me that this crane is working at, and it's building a whole new self-belief system, a system where you're learning to trust yourself. You believe in you. You love you. You respect you. It's like a wonderful thing. So don't be concerned about what happens in the external world too much, concerning other people, because it's all coming back to you, caring Cancerians, about how you feel about yourself. Right. They're showing me I'm in a cave, and it's like I can see a woman with an axe, a pickaxe, and mining for gold. We're in the cave in this mine, and we're digging, and there's a seam of gold that runs through here, and you're going to strike it rich if you just keep going and don't give up. All right, this could affect every aspect of your life. You could be wealthy in health, wealthy in positivity, wealthy in success, wealthy in finances, wealthy in relationships, wealthy spiritually. Every area of your life, you're going to just keep going. Don't give up. Cut the past. I see a pair of scissors cutting cords from the past. I'm just feeling like somebody could come back from the past and bring up these sort of feelings in you, or you hear news about an ex or somebody who was important to you from the past, and that person comes up during Mercury retrograde, and then you've got to go back and look at all this situation from the past. But keep digging in yourself, because there's a seam of gold there, and once you strike it rich there, nobody can take that away from you. Okay, you've hit the jackpot. So well done, caring Cancerians. That just makes me feel so excited for you, actually. Yeah, I'm there with you in spirit, digging in the mine. It's hard work mining. It's not easy. Thanks so much for listening. I do hope that you found this helpful. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to click the notification bell for updates, because I'm always doing lots of different things. But in the meantime, please have a wonderful month, and know that whatever happens, it's an insightful month full of wisdom and knowledge and eventual wealth for you. Okay, thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely